Good afternoon. It's Mark Oldup, Sky Hopper, and here for the Sports Insanity Network, brought to you by the Dugout of Millwood, along with our co-signer, Top Notch Sports Club. Um, this is going to be a little extension of the 101, talking about what's going on in the industry a little bit. And Fanatics might have gotten in quote unquote trouble for doing what they did, trying to take Panini stuff, going 2 years earlier and all that, but they found a way around it. And I have never seen a more brilliant move by a company in a long time. Fanatics now allows card dealers to do what they've been doing already on Facebook, which is doing breaks, selling spots in individual cases, whether it's by player, by team, by serial number, or randomized. And now Fanatics has given all of these dealers, I mean, it's not limited. As long as you are a valid dealer and you can buy and sell on the site and people buy from you and you do what you're supposed to do and ship out the cards, yeah, on the buyer side, it's a little scary, but Fanatics has given all these dealers access to be able to do live snapshot breaks. What is this? What does this mean? So let's say I'm Anthony Laparo from Top Notch Sports Club. I get a case of Bowman coming in. I put this case of Bowman up on Facebook. I sell it by whatever teams I want. Price is paid. You hit, you don't, you don't. That's Facebook. And sometimes Facebook takes time to sell because not everybody sees it. It's not always everybody's current. Now Fanatics has taken it and brought it live. What does live do? It allows you to be live at times that you want, that makes it easy for you. But live seems a lot better to me than if I'm a collector and waiting on breaks to fill because it's a slow fill or it's too expensive. This gives access to the dealer for a more broader customer base. Let's face it, there are dealers who are very small who are seeing thousands of people come in through their site and buy a team here. And that's all it needs. It needs this little boost. The card market is in nowhere at a deadfall. You might see a very bad standoff at the end of 2025 when the license changes over to Fanatics. But Panini will still produce cards. They might end up going more like Upper Deck did and produce limited edition stuff, and whatnot. By doing this live, it has created a question in the market. Is baseball cards gambling, or is it really a hobby? You can look at it from both ends. Baseball cards has been a hobby of mine for over 30 years. And I've been selling cards since I was 12 years old. And with everything going on, it's a hobby that I love. Now, my wife sees me buying to breaks all the time. And she's like, oh, you didn't get anything. I said, yeah, I didn't get something out of this one. But then I hit huge out of the next one, and so on and so forth. In essentiality, yeah, it's gambling and it's collecting. There are people who can well afford to buy full cases, bust and keep what they want, sell off what they don't, and wait around. They don't care. There are people who are in it for, hey, look, it's Wemby time, let's buy the Spurs at whatever, grade the Wembys and sell them. Everybody's different. Nobody has one answer or another. What I love about it is this has given me access not only to be with my dealers who I've always been with, because now they're all on Fanatics and they're live, so I can see them at times when I normally don't. But I've also gotten to meet a couple of nice dealers and a couple of nice owners over the last week, and just chatting with them on and off, bought a spot here and there just to help them out. But it's the ones that take the time and try to communicate with the customer that I like. I mean, if you're on there and you're just leaving it there, you're not trying to push, you're not trying to sell the product, you're not trying to make deals, then there's no point to be on there. I watched one guy today fill a 5-case Topps Chrome black player break in under 2 hours. I couldn't believe it. I'm getting a few Francisco Alvarez's, but I couldn't believe it. I mean, it flew. And as I've watched on a lot of breaks, a lot of these guys don't know nicknames of people who they are unless you tell them who you are and, you say, oh, I come to the shop, whatnot. No, but I've been now known in about 25 different groups. And I don't always buy, I might stay to my usuals, my four, that will never change from Top Notch, Rip Valley Monster, and Hat Trick Brakes. Those are my guys. RBI Brakes also. Sorry, Mark Mariano, I love you as well. Um, that's just what it is. Collecting now is more of a risk than reward, so to speak, because you can get low end, you can get nothing. But, the average good pack these days will run you 40, $50 a pack. And you're guaranteed a jersey or an autograph. There are some packs out there that are $1,500 that have the most ridiculous stuff I've ever seen on it. The card market is what it is. Okay. Coin collecting is what it is. Stamp collecting, you want to put them all out there. It's all a risk. And with no reward, there'd be no business. So obviously, the sport card business has gotten it right and are starting to not only gear to the higher end, but there are still a lot of companies, still Tops always, that gears towards that lower end for the world retail for the kids and stuff like that. But I've seen kids at a show last week put down $300 for a box, and I looked at Dad. Dad said, "Okay," and it is what it is. You want to call it gambling to a person who keeps buying and buying and buying and loses and calls for bankruptcy? Yeah, that's gambling. If you're going in and buying select teams and knowing that you're going to make reward, then it's a hobby and you're collecting to make a profit, or you're just collecting for yourself and you're going out and buying select teams. The baseball card industry is changing for the better. I think it's giving the buyer and the seller bigger advantages, more venue, more attention. Your demographics are going to change. The question becomes is not anything to worry about from eBay's standpoint, because eBay still auctions off the cards. They're not going to be too worried about the loss. Yeah, they'll lose a little money on case sells and stuff like that because people are going to go to Fanatics. But eBay is always going to be one of the biggest prime places to sell your cards unless Fanatics does something in 2026, which wouldn't surprise me. However, please remember to follow us at www.thesportinsanitynetwork.com for all your blogs. Listen to us all on the platforms that you get, Spotify, Anchor, we're there. Check out the 101 and other greats on our YouTube page. Just search the Sports Insanity Network. And from Mark Oldup, Sky Halpern with the Dugout of Millwood. Catch you on the flip side and have a wonderful afternoon.